And let's see if you hear me now.
Down to the election.
Okay, that's good. Thank you. So we find our humility and our hunger and we follow the teachings of our man Luzzatto, Mesilat Yesharim. You know, the path of the straight ahead, the upright. In Luzzatto's book, I told the rest of his story yesterday. My sacred partners on a mission of mercy shall join us tomorrow. I told the rest of his story yesterday. The sad end to his story. He finally, at the age of 40, ended up in Israel, Palestine. Found his way to Tzfat. Pardon me. And died not too long thereafter of plague, I'm sorry to say, in Akko. Buried in Tiberias, near Rabbi Akiva. And it was his fascination with Kabbalah really that caused this most of the drama in his life until he got to Israel. It was too close to the Shabbatai Tzvi debacle. And he was devoted to it, though. He was enchanted by the wisdom of the Kabbalah. So for this book, for this Mesilat Yesharim, it's kind of like a guidebook for inner development, for spiritual development. And he does an interesting thing. He takes a Baraita, a part of the Talmud, what we call a Tannaitic, a very authoritative part of the Talmud that was not included in the Mishnah, and another authoritative part. It's called a Baraita, but important passage from Pinchas, I think it is. Pinchas ben Yair, yeah. It's kind of like a very short little paragraph about what the knowledge of the wisdom brings to us. It starts with watchfulness, pay attention, listen. That moves on to eagerness, catch fire with it. Remember? Humble and hungry. Catch fire with it, and then that leads to cleanliness, some purity. He uses the word for clean, to get clean, which leads to abstinence in our language. That's interesting proximity in our language of clean and abstinence. And abstinence to purity, yeah, that's a different word than clean. Yeah. Very interesting. Tahora. Purity. And then from purity you come to a chassidut, some sort of piety. And then you come to humility, real humility. Hanava. And then you separate yourself from sin, from wrongdoing. And then you come to Kedusha, holiness. And he builds his whole book on this little paragraph, this Baraita, which I think is an idea, I took it up myself in one of my books. I think the second one, Fountain. There was a passage that had stayed with me for years and years and years. So long. Oh my God. I learned it when I was a student. I was always a student, but I mean when I was a formal student. And it stuck with me. It was a saying from Ibn Gabirol. It might not have even been from him. We're not sure. But it's attributed to him. And I took that one passage from Ibn Gabirol. It was also kind of an ethical guideline. And it kind of expressed itself through me. It exploded into a whole book. I based the book on it, though not literally, but it kind of became the organizing principle of the book, put it that way. And it worked. It's so crazy way it worked. It has poetry, it has stories, it just worked. And it came from this one organizing little pericope, Pericope, from the Spanish Jewish poet 1,000 years ago, Ibn Gabirol. It was an exercise in honoring the obsession as much as anything else. A little oud in the morning is part of the spiritual practice. I read a little Isaiah in this period we're in. We always read some Isaiah. We're into the 7 weeks of consolation through our man Isaiah. With a nod to him and to his teachings that have crystallized over the years, the 7 weeks. We're into the penultimate week, the 6th week now. So let's read the 6th week and let's take a preview of the 7th week. Week 6, your light has arrived, you shall shine. Even in darkness, and God's way will be seen by your light. Lift your eyes all around you. They are all assembled to accompany you, radiant, fearless, and expansive shall be your heart. Your light will never diminish. All your people are righteous. You are all a branch of the planting, God's handiwork, all of you. I'll give you a preview of next week. It's beautiful. Around my soul, clothes and garments, robes of justice and salvation. I'm like a bridegroom. Remember, I think it was in the 2nd week, I was like a bride. I am like a bridegroom. There's priestly accessories and a bride. I am like both her jewels. Like the garden, like the earth, God brings forth justice and praises before all nations. I will not rest nor hold my peace until we burn like a torch. And all the nations will see you will be called by a new name. The mouth of God will speak. You will be a jewel in the open hand of God. Go through the gates. Go through the gates. Clear the way for people. You are sought and interpreted, expounded, a city not forsaken. You are carried all the days of old. You are carried all the days of old. Thank you, Isaiah. Going to close with a little tune. In this version, it has one verse. Il mi quiero, madre. Il mi quiero, madre. Thanks for joining me today. We appreciate you. We appreciate you. I don't know if I told you that. We do. Thanks for joining us. The House of Reconciliation, open with uncertainty. It's a good sign. The uncertainty in me meets the uncertainty in you, until one day there will be no other peace before right. We are peace. We are uncertain. We are, I don't know. What's I don't know? A start. Thanks, everybody. Join us tomorrow. Ciao, babies. Ciao, babies. Ciao.